Jesus said, "I have come to set the captives free and the recovery of sight to the blind," in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 4. Throughout the entire Bible, we encounter one story after another. Because of our dual and sinful nature, and having another consciousness that is constantly trying to control us, we have become a kingdom divided, and we are at war within ourselves. There are many illustrations in the Bible that serve as signposts pointing to our escape from this impossible form of bondage. The first story we see is Moses leading the children of Israel out of Egypt. Egypt represents the sinful and corrupt nature of our existence and also our slavery and bondage. The exodus out of Egypt represented a loving God taking his children away from the corrupt and evil ruler and leading them out of bondage. This story was a foreshadowing of the covenant of Jesus Christ that he would establish to save those who would turn from their sinful natures and turn back to God with their entire heart. Jesus' promise was to wash clean from sin and duality anyone who would accept his payment for sin on their behalf. As we look back through the Old Testament, we see one after another story showing an impossible victory. It could only be won through God and his provision for the battle. One example of this is David, who fought Goliath. David represented a small and insignificant young Israelite, somewhat resembling the nation of Israel. He was willing to fight Goliath, who was a Philistine. He was also a giant and a Nephilim offspring. Goliath was also a seasoned soldier. The showdown was a representation of God, Yahweh, and his deliverance from the oppressor, the Philistines. The underlying message was that by trusting in God, an impossible victory would be accomplished. The victory would prove that an unforeseen force was most certainly behind the scene, ensuring the victory for those that were weak and had little to no chance of winning the fight. The Battle of Jericho and Gideon's battle and many others would epitomize the victory that would later be won by Jesus Christ on our behalf. We were all slaves to sin, and we had no escape from our wicked master Satan. But Jesus Christ would win the battle for us, and we would be set free from our sin.